Thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como yé. God save the Queen. Freedom!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV in beautiful, beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, the world ought to know it by now. I'm a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, has just contacted me. He's on his way to the studio. I welcome everyone. There is a developing story taking place here in Nassau capital. We have received word that former Minister of Labor and National Insurance, the Honorable Shane Gibson, has turned himself over to the government of strongman, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. We are receiving reports that Mr. Gibson is in the custody of members of the Central Detective Unit. And we have also received reports that tomorrow, if not, Dr. Minnis does not interfere with the police work, he will be charged tomorrow morning. But there are police sources who has said that Mr. Gibson could very well be charged before a magistrate this afternoon. I don't know. I've attempted to contact Mr. Wayne Munroe, who we understand will be one of many attorneys who will be representing Mr. Gibson. So that is the breaking news. When we return, I will tell you why a member of parliament in the PLP should never ever lose his seat. It is a lesson. When you grab power, hold on to the people, hug the people, love the people, treat the people well, and don't ever lose. Because having lost, the victors are now executing justice, the victor's justice. We should look at Dr. Minnis when he was leader of the opposition, as we attempt to show the new leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis, what Dr. Minnis did when the police arrested his supporters. And the choice will be Mr. Davis's choice. Will he rally and sally the forces of the opposition? Because there is no doubt in my mind that the victors intend to prosecute each and everyone in the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party. I got a bunch of things on my mind. This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and the F&M has now, we are told, Shane Gibson in custody. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is in studio. Brother Roll, if I ever needed a friend now, I sure do need you now.
You need a friend.
Yes.
There's not a friend like the lowly Jesus, eh?
Amen.
No,
Well,
not one.
there is breaking news taking place here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Okay.
All morning, there has been rumor and rumors of rumor that the former Minister of Labor and National Insurance in the Progressive Liberal Party's government, the Honorable Shane Gibson, had surrendered himself to lawful authorities. And we are told that he is in custody, and we will take you to a report written on the Tribune's website. And it goes like this. Former Minister of Labor Shane Gibson voluntarily went to police at the Central Detective Unit on Wednesday morning to help them with an investigation. Attorney Wayne Munroe, QC, told the Tribune. Mr. Munroe, who was not at the police station, could not say if Mr. Gibson, his client, was still at CDU when contacted Wednesday afternoon. Mr. Munroe, wherever you are, I need you to call me here on Freedom March because I would like to have exclusive information on what is taking place. We are aware that the FNM has decided that it will charge every member of the former PLP cabinet and other senior PLP officials. So I want to be the first to break the news so that I can prepare PLP supporters throughout the Bahamas so that they will not be surprised and that we can prepare them to carry out political action. My spiritual advisor, before I go into the politics of all of this,
Interesting time in the country.
it is interesting time. The victors, armed with state power, are systematically arresting former PLP government officials.
Well, Mr. Monka, if you had listened
And
to...
so before you ask me to
dialogue.
listen, I think I need you to say a prayer for my brother, Shane Gibson. I don't know exactly where he's at, and I do hope that Mr. Munroe can do one or two things. Munroe, do this one for me, man. I'm one of the brothers. Either call me or just walk into the studio. I've told people downstairs to welcome you in because this is developing, and you know everybody in the Bahamas is listening to Freedom March. So we need you to know. Are you telling me that Munroe's on the phone?
No.
Okay. See this, y'all stop doing dumb sign to me, eh? My spiritual advisor, you read first, you pray first, and then after you pray, in your prayer, I want you to take into consideration my brother Shane.
Okay, Mr. Monka, let us pray. Father in heaven, we are so grateful to you for another day you have blessed us with in this beautiful country we call the Bahamas. Father, we pray that whatever is happening in our country, that the truth will prevail. To the Jews who would believe in Jesus, Jesus says, if you continue in my teachings, then are you indeed my disciples. He says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Father, we pray for all those who would have to visit the courts, dear God. Father, whatever the situation is, we pray that your guidance would guide the court accordingly. Father, we pray that you continue to bless this country and the Bahamas government, that they will continue to govern the country in a manner that's pleasing not only to you, but to the citizens as well. These favors and blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. I thank you, my spiritual advisor. At the commencement of our show, we announced that we have breaking news and that there has been reports that the former Minister of Labor and National Insurance, Shane Gibson, voluntarily turned himself over to CDU. One source told me that he will be put on parade. So what does that mean? It means that they will handcuff him behind his back and march him before the media. And so it's remind me of communist China. And many of the things that I've read over what was referred to as show trial. And we do know that the F&M for years have been pursuing Shane Gibson. We do know that. And we also are aware, and I have to be very careful how I say it, because I'm beginning to believe that Minnis is victimizing Shane Gibson. After I revealed last year or thereabout, you would recall the hurricane of October of last year. Shane Gibson had given Minnis' daddy a lot of gas contract. And I believe that Minnis is angry over that revelation because his older brother, who lives in Freeport, just about a week and a half ago, he made contact with me and he said to me that he was very displeased over the fact that I was saying those things. And that compelled me to come on TV and to say to the Prime Minister, listen, that intelligence did not come from the minister, and that is true. Shane Gibson, nor any official of the then governing Progressive Liberal Party provided me with those information. They didn't. I have my own independent intelligence gathering, all right? And so Gibson never told me. And I don't think that Minnis should use state power to punish him. I don't think he should do it.
But Mr. Monica, in all honesty, right, and this is something I wanted to ask you, from our last broadcast on the station, right, if you were given the information, right, and that information, I haven't heard that information from anybody else or from any other source other than you,
yes,
right, why would you divulge that information to the public if there was no need for them to know that? What was the damage in that happening? Anyway, let's just say it happened.
Well, we know.
And that particular gas station did get the contract. I mean, what was the compromise
The
in
reason
situation?
for me exposing
and what was the conflict?
I will tell you what the problem was. You would recall that shortly after the devastation of the storm, the PLP invited Dr. Minnis as leader of the opposition to fly around the island during those 2 consecutive storms. And when Minnis got in Los Angeles, he accused the PLP of not sharing the economic benefits, not providing the kind of assistance to all the people. And he particularly said that F&Ms were being denied. Meanwhile, we know that Shane Gibson had sent this wonderful, juicy gas contract. And I said to myself, Minnis is a hypocrite. Why is he doing this? His dad is being taken care of. So why is he doing it?
His dad was providing a service. I'm trying to figure out what do you mean by being taken care of?
Well, Minnis, I want you to listen to my explanation.
Okay.
Or you want to defend the F&M?
No, I'm not trying to defend.
All right?
But Minnis has been around for years and years and years.
Listen, man, we're talking about a hurricane. And juicy gas contract is sent to his daddy.
Juicy gas contract?
Yes.
Why do you have to be so dramatic? What do you mean by juicy gas contract?
Why are you interrupting me?
Okay, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Stop bending down. No matter what Menace promise you, don't bend down.
Don't pick up the chicken feet.
If he promised you a contract, don't bend down. If he promised you a trip across the ocean, don't bend
I'm
down.
just trying to look at
All
this
right?
thing
Don't
from a
bend down.
realistic standpoint.
The facts of the matter is Menace was being politically and intellectually...
What, dishonest?
My spiritual advisor, flesh and blood, did not reveal that to you. And I decided I'm not going to allow Menace to be persecuting the PLP wrongly. And so I have my own means. Don't forget now I'm 60. And I can find out what is going on. Now, Menace thinks that Shane told me. And based on the relationship that Menace and Shane has, Shane should never tell me. And he didn't tell me. That is what is going
Why
on.
didn't you keep it a secret? Nobody had to know that.
Why
You probably did more harm than good.
Why are you inviting me to be corrupt?
No, I'm not inviting you to be corrupt. You
Why-
probably did more harm than good.
What would be the harm?
What is happening now, I guess?
Well, Menace is wrong to persecute Shane.
Well,
He is wrong.
Well, Mr. Monker,
All right?
the Prime Minister says that on his campaign, he had promised the people that wherever there was corruption, that his government was going to deal with it.
Yeah,
he
but-
says the people
but-
has
but-
hired him to do a
but
job,
what are the
and
facts?
he's doing the job.
Menace is corrupt. Menace did not disclose.
That contract has been cancelled.
My spiritual-
I don't know if you could
You
call.
don't- you don't
you
underst-
can't call the Prime Minister corrupt.
Do you know what is corruption?
Well, let's look it up.
All
Let's
right?
look it up.
I want you to
Let's
listen to
define
me.
it.
Listen to me. The Prime Minister, don't forget, he's not only trying to jail the PLP. I told you, don't think it's a joke. A part of Menace's game plan is to entrap me. You have a difficulty in believing it.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I know. That's
as
because-
big as this country is, and as much things as the Prime Minister have to do, Mr. Munker, I don't think the Prime Minister.
Why then?
Like the old people say, I don't think he got you to study.
So why was he so idle and wrote me a letter?
That letter didn't go to you only, Mr.
My,
Munker.
don't tell me about
You
anybody
know how many
else.
other people that went to?
Name somebody other than me you know of.
Well, I can't do that. You
Well, then I
you
want
put
you
me
to-
on the spot. I can't do it. But I know for a fact it went to other people.
No, you don't know that for a fact. The only person that you are aware of is me.
All right, so
'Cause I show it to
let me
you.
ask you. You want me to get the names who it went to?
Listen to me.
You want me to get the
I
names?
want you to listen to me.
Go ahead.
No one has publicly come forward. I'm the only citizen who's produced a letter. All right? I know exactly what Menace is doing. All right? I'm just allowing him to have a good run before I drop the bum sucky. He's trying to also get me. You hear me?
You're an F&M, you know.
Yeah, but Menace don't like us. You know how much women support Loretta, who's F&M, and Menace ain't get him nothing? Huh? Anyway, let's go back to Shane Gibson. So the facts of the matter is Shane is in custody, and I want to show Philip Brave Davis something. In March, I think it was, of 2015, Dr. Menace led a number of Negro citizens across the Paradise Island Bridge. It was, I think, March of 2016. Under Menace's leadership, public property was destroyed. The police was obstructed. All right? Citizens were arrested and dragged and subsequently charged. Menace organized a contingent of Negro supporters of the F&M, and they stormed the court, causing the police to have to block off the entire length of South Street between Nassau Street and Augusta Street. You remember that? Okay. And Menace told the police that an F&M government, they will, what is the word? They will pardon all of those people who were charged. All right? That is what Menace did. And Menace stood up for his supporters. That's what Menace did. Whatever you think about Menace, Menace led them over the bridge to break the law. Menace led them over the Paradise Island Bridge where they break down private property. You hear me? And the police never arrested Menace. They never charged Menace. And on Paradise Island, we had the South Africans, they had their security videotaping what was taking place. The security and intelligence branch of the police was present. They know precisely what Menace was doing. All right? And Menace stood up with his people. And praise the Lord. Menace, if he has not kept his word yet, Carl Bettel, as Attorney General, will know that the time has arrived for him to enter a nully.
Right, to pardon them.
So,
Okay.
Philip Brave Davis and the PLP better recognize what this is, you know. Menace can't get me because I hide every weekend. Y'all think it's a big joke. But I know what his strategy is. And his strategy is a gangster strategy. Because Menace knows that under the Public Disclosure Act, he has no legitimate authority to write me and to extend a period for me to disclose.
That's water under the bridge now.
It is not water under the bridge.
Yeah,
For you, it's water under the bridge. You wait till Menace writes you a bogus letter. Then you will recognize if what it is. So, if Shane Gibson is to go to court tomorrow, I want Philip Brave Davis and the F&M to do what Menace did. Bring your supporters out. Because this is politics. That's what this is. Or, who's next? Who's next? That's what's going on. Menace is playing a powerful political game. He is doing what the little boy did to the frog. You know the story of what the boy did to the frog?
You throw salt on the frog?
No, he threw a rock. And every time the frog jumped out of the lake because the rock licked him, the little boy laughed. And the frog said to the little boy, he said, what is joke to you? It's pain to me.
Okay.
What you laughing over is hurtful to me. So the time has come for the PLP to make up their mind. Will you defend your supporters? Or y'all want to surrender the party to me? I don't want it. But it is time to take to the street. And I expect that the party will have hundreds of people out to the court to welcome Shane Gibson. Because if he ever needed political solidarity before, he sure do need it now.
So what are the charges?
I don't know what the charges are, Minister. I'm told that they ain't finished writing the charge. I understand it can be plenty charges. And knowing them, they'll show up the court tomorrow and tell the magistrate, the Attorney General, who's all over the place with the Prime Minister, having party. Ain't ready yet. Oh boy. What an F&M government this is. Victor's justice must be resisted. Peace.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live here on ILTV in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is in studio with me. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March once again.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Well, breaking news taking place here in Nassau, Bahamas. The former Minister of Labor and National Security, the Honorable Shane Gibson, has turned himself over to police custody. We are told that he is expected either to be charged today or tomorrow. So for those of you who are PLP supporters and other citizens, we have our intelligence as to what those charges would be but we're not going to say it. So I want you to gird up your loins, because the charges are going to be very, very, very devastating. And we are not going to tell you what we have heard. We will leave it like that, and we will see how the wheel of justice turns. So that is the breaking news there.
Very interesting times indeed, Mr. Monica. I think this is the first time in our country we've seen politicians, former politicians, hauled before the courts. I think.
Well, that is not true, you know.
Well, I can remember one former politician who was actually jailed.
Really?
Yeah, Wilbert Moss, was it?
Okay.
You remember that name?
He was one.
Yeah.
Why you pick on the PLP
No.
politician?
No, that's
now
just,
give me an F&M one.
yeah, Fred Ramsey.
I don't mean people like Fred. Papa say he's
Yeah, but he was convicted.
innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he never been in the House of Assembly.
Yeah, no.
I want the F&M, who was a member of the House of Assembly, who went. Shall I call his name?
No, don't call his name. But Mr. Monica, what
You
is?
could call decent
Well, go
Fred
ahead.
Ramsey name.
Well,
But
I
you
mean,
don't want me to call
it's
the
public
F&M?
knowledge. It's public knowledge. Who else?
So you don't think the F&M was public knowledge? Be careful, eh?
Forgive me.
Now, I'm not going to call his name because you say
Yeah,
so.
don't do that. Yeah.
But I'll tell the people what he went to jail for. He had cocaine. Why are you laughing? I wouldn't come on TV and lie. I'm 60.
Oh, Lord. What did
I'm
I do?
60.
I'm sorry. What did I do? Forgive me.
Huh?
But, Mr. Monica, this is not the only country where politicians
I'm just saying to you that there was an F&M
Okay.
who went to jail.
All right.
He had little coke. All right? Yeah.
Okay.
So you want me to call his name?
No, don't do that.
Okay. I thank you for causing me not to embarrass his family.
Yeah.
All right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, the F&M is pursuing an agenda of politics. It is as if the campaign has not stopped. Yesterday, the cabinet of the Bahamas has an interesting optic, and they have me embarrassed as a Negro. Yesterday, the Prime Minister, Dr. Hubert Minnis, took the whole cabinet to Albany. The whole cabinet, which tells me why Marvin can't fight crime. He's at Albany. It tells me why, what the man named who in charge of the Ministry of Work,
Well, that's Desmond Bannister.
why Desmond can't get things off
But
the
you
road.
can understand why he would be in Albany. Major developments in Albany.
Really?
Yeah, they have concerns.
Okay. From the hurricane, eh?
Yeah, they have some concerns.
Yeah.
So I can understand Desmond
That's
Bannister,
why it's-
who is the Minister of Work.
But
Minister
the
of
whole
Works.
cabinet.
Okay.
All right? And so the next
That
thing
information
we know,
is correct.
What is what
The
is
whole
correct?
cabinet did go to Albany?
That is not correct?
I'm
You say?
asking you. You say that's what
Haven't you
happened.
seen the newspaper? Goodness, my spiritual advisor.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
Every
I was
time-
busy today, so I haven't had
Every
a chance.
time I'm in a groove.
I'm interrupting you. Forgive me. Go ahead.
What are you doing?
Yeah, forgive
The
me.
F&M can give you no contract.
Forgive me, man.
All right? Now, so the Prime Minister took the whole cabinet. One day, he went to Bahama. They had a party there. The next day, he goes over to the South African on Paradise Island. Got a party there. Yesterday, they go to Albany. And I'm offended of what that white man had to say to the government. I'm offended. Minister Dawes seems not to understand that notwithstanding that this is an island archipelagic nation, we have to learn how to act the part. So he goes over and Annan lecture them, sit them down, and take them to one bunch of talk. While my government sits down to be lectured by this foreign white man. This man who talked down to them. But what can you expect? They're acting like King George III Negroes. What nonsense is this? PLP rejected 700 million power rescue plan. These are the group of people who almost cut Nassau in half. Are you aware of that?
Well, I think they had negotiated with the Bahamas government to redirect a portion of, is it Adelaide Road? I think they did redirect it, right? And is now.
I'm not talking about road.
Oh, okay,
I'm talking
okay.
about the earth.
Okay.
I'm talking about the land.
Okay.
I'm talking about where they almost ripped. And I predict one day Nassau is going to sink. I predict it.
So what did the project do?
I don't know what the heck it done. Other than I know
Some dredging.
They ripped through and almost cut off that part of the island.
Okay, what for
Approved by the F&M. It is a
Yeah.
group of people that
I
the
remember that.
F&M.
I remember what you're talking about now. Okay, okay.
It is a group of people that the F&M confiscated using the Acquisition of Land Act and took away the late Percy Munnon children land,
Okay.
as opposed to allowing those Bahamians to negotiate with those
Right,
multi-millionaires.
Okay, okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
And that is what the F&M has done. I've never seen nothing like that in all my life, where you could take my land, give it to foreign people, to allow them to become multi-millionaires and leave me and my children broke.
But you know what happened, right? The question then now is, how did Percy Munnins get it?
Lord Jesus, have mercy on my
You see where
soul.
you're coming from, right?
He got it legitimately.
Okay. Well, that cancels the
Why,
argument.
why would you want
Well, that
hold on a
cancels the
second.
argument, Mr.
Hold
Monka.
on a second. Why would you want to assume that Percy Munnins did not get it lawfully?
No, I'm not saying that, but it was Crown land.
It was not
It
Crown
was not Crown
land.
land? Okay. Well, my source is incorrect then.
Your sources is not only incorrect, they're
Okay.
dumb and stupid. You know what's Crown land?
Of course, Mr.
What is
Monka.
Crown land?
Mr. Monka,
What is Crown land?
land owned by the Crown.
Right.
Simple.
So how Percy Munnins, his land, I know Percy Munnins, you know.
Yeah.
I know Percy Munnins. Percy Munnins told me a political secret in 1992.
He was the bag man for the PLP.
He was not the bag man
What
for the
was he?
PLP. I want you to stop it.
Yeah, that was
Percy
Cylinder,
Munnins
that was
was-
Cylinder right-hand man.
He
He lived next door to Cylinder in
he-
Soldier Road.
He was not Pinling's bag man.
So what was he?
All right?
What was Percy Munnins?
want you to
Well,
stop
Mr.
it.
Monka, stop
I
being
want-
like that,
I
man.
want you to stop
We
it.
know the history.
You don't know the history.
All right. You know what? Let me behave myself
Man,
on the show.
man,
Yeah.
man, don't get me
Go,
mad.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I know all.
How was Percy Munnins able to get all that land? You know how much land that man owned in this country?
Have you done a title search on him?
No, I haven't.
Every piece of land that Percy Munnins owned, he paid for it.
Okay.
Every piece of land.
Okay.
Do you know a white man named Peter McPherson Christie?
No.
You see?
No.
Percy Munnins bought acres from him. Peter McPherson Christie is the County Joe man whose office is opposite Ansbach building, whose uncle, the late Sir Harold Christie, was a part of the conspiracy when the late Sir Harry Oakes was murdered. You hear me?
Mhm.
If you don't know what you're saying, I want you to stop
Well,
it.
Leo, well-
Percy Money owned
well-
all of us land. Now you want to know how I know? Huh?
Boy, Mr. Monka, you was something else. Anyhow.
Don't do that, man.
I can
Percy's
believe
my
that.
friend. In
Yeah.
1991, he sent for me, and he gave me a political secret. I've not discussed it yet. All right? Don't do that. I love Percy Munnins, and he was a great citizen.
Of course he was.
All right? And his land, he had what the law called good and marketable title.
Plenty land.
Because if you buy land from Peter
Plenty land.
McPherson Christie,
He had plenty
the
land.
County Joe man, oh dear, all Peter had was good and marketable title. Don't say that, man. All right? Because you know.
Well, Leo, let's get back to this.
I will teach you something.
Okay.
You can be sued for damaging
What did I say?
the title of a person. All right? Come on, don't do that to me, man. I know these things. If you hear me tell you Percy had good land, all his land. One day, he took me to see pieces land. And I lied on the land. And he asked me what I was doing. I said, Percy, I've never seen a land look as juicy like this. I'm hugging it up. All right?
Interesting,
So
eh?
that.
Interesting.
And let me get back on the F&M. So Minnis and them is in the back of Albany. And I want to appeal to the Anglican priests who took them on a tour. Father McKenzie. You saw Father McKenzie? I'm talking to you.
Mackenzie.
Do you know Father Tyrone McKenzie?
No, I don't. No.
He's the Anglican priest that the Anglican Church sent in the back there to learn how to make money. And I think he's been there long enough. I call on Father, what's the priest's name in charge of the Anglican Church?
Is that
Father Leichberg.
Leish?
Father Leichberg. I think that Father McKenzie has been in the back of Albany too long. I demand his recall. That's what they told me, you know. When they try to get the government to seize my first cousin land, I have a first cousin named Joseph Lewis too, you know. So it's two Joseph Lewis. One is the white man,
Yeah, Joe Lewis,
and one is the black man.
Yeah.
My first cousin, Joseph Lewis, he went away. And when I heard that they were about to seize his nice house, to cost me not to be able to visit that part of the island, I went and I cursed them out. And Monconky Joe man stood up to challenge me. They didn't know I had the commission of inquiry. And I turned to Anna and I said, you see this white man here? He's a drug smuggler. And I hold up the commission of inquiry. I said, now if you all don't shut up, I'm going to read it. And they sat down. All right? I've been there prepared.
Okay. Okay.
So, what is this minister doing? I mean, you throw me right off course. Goodness of my
No, you were
spiritual
discussing
advisor.
why they were in the back at Albany.
I need a statement from the PLP to tell me what this is. This white man is saying in the back of Albany that he gave the PLP $700,000 and they didn't accept it, $700 million? What is this? I need a statement. I need the PLP to tell me, why is it true, one, that Albany offered the PLP while in power $700 million to help BC and end the fire?
Right.
I want to know.
Right.
Why did the PLP not accept the $700 million? What was the deal? And the leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis, I demand that a statement be issued to explain this, what this is. Because I am afraid that when you examine the record of Dr. Minnis, the IDB gave the F&M $25 million to stop the dump fire.
Yeah, remediation of the dump, yeah.
And what did Minnis do?
You already said the story.
I want you to repeat it.
No, I'm not getting in that. You already gone through that must be about 100 times.
Goodness me, my spiritual
You
advisor.
you on your own with that one, eh?
I think I better call my Haitian friend so he can tell you once again that cowards don't go to heaven. Oh boy.
We know the F&M messed up on that. All right?
Well, you gotta be man.
We know.
Be man.
We ain't got to go through that all the time,
Be
Mr.
man.
Munker.
Be just like me. I couldn't give a penny if the F&M don't give me no contract. The only thing I don't want them to take from me is Dr. Dwayne Sands, because I need him for my heart and my prostate.
Okay.
All right? So what is this man is talking on? It's so disappointing and condescending. There they got ministers sitting off, and this man is running on. Where's the thing? You better go buy the newspaper in Freeport so you could see how Minnis and his cabinet are being treated as school children. Here in the Nassau Guardian, on page, what page is this? Page something B, section B, business. They got Minnis and them with the little food in the hand. I hate my political leaders when I see them eating food in these hotels. I feel like I'm being sold out. That's how I feel. That I'm being sold out for a meal of porridge. All right? Now we have Albany man saying what? That he offered the PLP $700 million. I need a statement from the PLP to explain it. were you offered $700 million? And if it was true, why did the PLP not accept the $700 million? Oh boy, my spiritual advisor, you are something. It's just one bunch of nonsense. I'll leave that for the time being, and I'll come back. Now at Albany, instead of Minis and the FNM give us a vision for the economic development of our island nation, Minis engage in political bantering and political talk. What is he running on with? He tells us the PLP owes the nation an apology. But the general elections are over, and the people rejected the PLP. So how long are we going to be talking all of this political nonsense while thousands of our people are unemployed, while the people of Grand Bahama is catching economic hell? We can keep the campaign going on. Man, it's time to create jobs. It's time to deal with the level of crime taking place in the country. That is the important issues. Whether or not the PLP apologizes or not is a decision for the people. Those of us who survive and live to see election 2022. But the people have already voted out the PLP. It's time for governing. Minis appears to have won an election, but lacks the gift and the capacity to govern. And we have to face a reality. It's time to govern. It's time to get us out of the economic mess. It's time to find jobs. It's time to spend money. I want money spent all over Grand Bahama. And when y'all finish spending money in Grand Bahama, I want y'all to go to Bimini. I want y'all to go to Inagua, Maguana, Long Island, Cat Island, Abaco. Name some islands, my spiritual advisor.
Name some islands, Mr. Munroe.
Help me with some islands.
Where you want to go, from the north to the south?
From the south to the north.
Okay, so you got Grand Bahama.
Money.
You got Abaco.
Spend money.
You got Bimini.
More money.
You got New Providence.
Money.
You got the Exumas. You got
Money.
Long Island.
Yes.
You got Cat Island.
Money.
You got Eleuthera.
It's time to stop the talk and start spending money. Let's put some money into the economy. Because when the poor man has access to money, what you think we can do? We can spend it. We go into the food store. We can buy food. Some will try their hand here at Island Luck. They can buy a little number. Some, that's what's going to happen. And once money is in the economy, it's better for your society. And government has a duty to put money into the economy. That's what has to happen. But Minis and them are on a road show. On a road show. A government does not take its cabinet to an hotel to discuss business. You tell the hotelier, come to the cabinet office. Come to my office. Huh? You take control. But at an examination of the photograph in the Nassau Guardian, Minister ain't in control of nothing. They're not. They're like errand boys. That's what it comes off to me. Their optics is bad. And I expect Father McKenzie, Father Tyrone McKenzie, I'm going to write the Anglican bishop and ask him to move you now. You've been in the back there too long. I think you should return to the church, and they should send Deacon, what is Palacios' first name?
James Palacios.
They should send Deacon James Palacios. That's what should happen. All this bunch of nonsense we running on as if somebody voted for them people in the back of Albany. I got them in. I have them in from the time the government acquired those black people land and give it to foreign rich white people. That ain't supposed to happen. If we are talking about free enterprise, you want my land? Come sit down with me, come negotiate with me, and let me and you come to a decision as to what the value is. But what did the PLP do? What did the F&M do? The F&M acquire the people land. And the PLP, when they came to power, they should have reconveyed the land back. That is what they should have done. Don't forget what happened out southwest. What the land name? I think it was the PLP who acquired the land. And when Papa them come back, they gave the white people their land.
Where's this?
Out there where the old slave plantation is down in the back, down out west there.
Oh, you're talking about
All right.
Jaws Beach?
Clifton or
Clifton Heritage thing?
or whatever the place
Yeah,
name. I
yeah.
don't remember the name of the land. All right? And that's what happened. I think the PLP acquired the land. They wanted to put a container port there. All right?
Okay.
And when them white people finished robbing and cursing and carrying on and spending their money to get the F&M re-elected, Papa and them, Papa forgive me if I have it wrong, Papa and them reconvey the land back. Double standards in this country. It just gets me mad, man. Oh boy, I don't know what I can do with my people, the Negro people. A whole government in the back of Albany. A whole government sitting down with food in the hand, selling us out for a meal of porridge. You know, it's amazing. Just amazing. But Lord, I bring my Negro government before you. Teach them that they would look around the world and see how mature governments are. Because I'm suspicious. Every time I see the government eating food at these private events, I say, look what they're selling us out for. A meal of porridge. God ain't got no shame. Huh? God give us these beautiful islands. And you're sitting in the back of Albany, listening to that man.
But Albany is a major development. You
I
know
don't
that,
care
right?
what it is.
Millions-
bring Albany to the cabinet
millions
office.
of dollars being
Are you
invested.
listening to me?
Okay.
You bring them to the cabinet office.
Is that feasible?
Of course it is feasible. How many members in the cabinet?
35.
35
No,
in the cabinet?
sorry. No, I don't know.
Okay.
There's 35 in the house.
But it's more in the cabinet than Father McKenzie and them two white people I saw. Huh? And Father McKenzie, you're a saved man. You're saved, you're sanctified. When you see your black leaders are acting wrongly, you put them on the
So
side.
who invited who?
Huh?
Who invited who?
I don't care who invited who.
Well, you understand
You
why I
don't
said that.
carry
If the government
the
invites
whole
them, they come.
cabinet.
If they invite the government goes.
Anyway, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about
All right.
because you appear to be my spiritual
What? You think I cloak him? Or covering
No,
up?
I think you're King George the Third Negro. All right? Goodness be in trouble.
Boy, the F&M can't get a break with you.
That is, I'm making the F&M strong and reliable. I'm trying to make the F&M do the right thing. I want Minister to make me proud. All right? I want him. And I want, when they're taking pictures from now on, hide the food. Put the food under the chair. Put the wine under the chair. All right? You all leave them white people food.
It was
back
luncheon,
there.
right? It was
I
some
don't
kind of
give
luncheon?
I don't give a penny what it was. All right? Don't you understand the psychology of you're eating the white people food and they taking your picture? Huh? Come man, leave them white people food and talk for us. All right? I'm tired of that. Every time the F&M come to power. All right? How y'all can say y'all better than the PLP? Huh? Goodness of mercy. What am I going to do with black leadership? They wouldn't make me proud. They will not make me proud. You see Brent Sumner there?
Was he to the luncheon?
I don't know.
Let me see the photo.
Look, see if you could find Brent Sumner.
That's not the right thing.
Just keep looking. Let's see if Brent's there. And I want to tell y'all, if Brent isn't eating, y'all don't eat. Okay? I think I need Brent to tell them when to eat. Bunch of low-minded politicians. All y'all doing is just eating up the white people's food and selling us out. Stop eating and selling us out. Albany cut, big thing, almost cut Nassau in half with the main south. There's a sprinter march. My name is Rodney Monker. My party, the F&M, they're in the back of Albany. eating the white people them food, as opposed to governing. Stop it with your greedy self. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is here with me. He is my spiritual advisor. I think I'm going to leave the high-level politics and go to the low-level politics. My life is full of mixed emotions because in my life, as an adult, as a youth activist, I am constantly in contact with citizens at the very, very low level of the economic strata. Today, in the District of New Providence, appeared before me a Negro woman who requires surgery. And they're telling her to have her surgery on her leg, she told me. She has to pay. I look at the woman and I wanted to throw, a political jab at her, but sometimes you can't do it. It's insensitive. And don't forget, the woman is my people. She's a Negro woman, and I'm a Negro. And so the Negro are my people. But what was painful for me was the fact that she had voted for Travis Robinson, who's the member of parliament. And she can't find Travis. So she turned to me. I believe she turned to me because she knew I'm on TV. And so I wanted to say, bad off. Call your MP. But I didn't say it. Okay? Travis, my God, let the people them know where you are. You must have enough influence to pick up the phone, call Dr. Dwayne Sands, and say to her, Dr. Dwayne Sands, this is one of my constituents. She's a poor Negro woman. She needs the operation on her leg. I need the government to take up her cause and fix the woman's leg. The woman's Negro. She got children, got a little small job. She's catching hell. She lives right there in the Bainstown and Grandstown constituency. Now the woman have me upset. 2 reasons. She need the little surgery. She need it. And, go ahead, talk to me. Yes? Okay. Well, he's here. Oh, this is powerful. Get him a chair. Breaking news taking place. I have 2 reports. One, that the former Minister of Labor and National Insurance, the Honorable Shane Gibson, has been confirmed to be in custody at CDU. We are hearing reports that he will be charged tomorrow. And of course, they've just opened up the studio door. And I could see my lawyer, Mr. Gibson lawyer, who's my lawyer, Mr. Vane Munroe, my spiritual advisor. We can do it live. Don't mind the TV is on. Y'all keep the TV on me while the spiritual advisor set up the thing for Vane Munroe, who is here. Munroe is getting ready to join me because I need to know what is taking place in the country. I want to warn ministers, however. I'm a peaceful man, but there is a minister that I don't want him to charge. I love that minister. And my heart would be broken if he was to charge that minister. I asked ministers, I'm prepared to sell out. But don't charge that minister because, I'm like kind of in love. Okay? And, I'm in love like in a good way. Okay? And anybody who touch her, I might get angry. Okay? So, I don't know. But as they prepare to sit, Mr. Munroe, I want to go back to the woman in Baintown who need to have surgery on her leg, and she can't find Travis. Now, look at the producer, my spiritual advisor. Look at the producer. All right? You know, we have producers here who tell you how to sit down and what all to do. So look at the producer. All right? And so the woman from Baintown, she needs surgery. All right? Travis, why are you hiding? Why are you hiding? Huh? You won't be member of parliament. You know it's a bunch of poor Negro people. All right? And you should have the influence to pick up the telephone and call the Minister of Health. All right? Call him and tell him to fix the woman. Fix the woman's leg. You know? It's just amazing. Oh boy. I don't know what I can do. I told the woman, come, let me look at her leg. I don't know if it's against the law. I wonder if it would be against the law if I were to look at the woman's leg, because the woman, anyway. Call Travis. He's at the Ministry of Tourism. Call him. All right? Call Travis. Set the camera up now. Wayne Munroe, I thank you for joining us on Freedom March. I'm happy. I've been trying to reach you all day as these rumors were circulating that Mr. Shane Gibson. But before I get into talking with you, let me start off by saying, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Brother Monica.
And let me just take this phone call quickly. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
Good afternoon, my dear.
To you and your guest. I really had to call today because I was a bit disturbed by the comments made by the spiritual advisor today on the show when you were speaking about Mr. Percy Munnings.
Yes.
You know, it's a perception in this country that black people have something and they believe that they've stolen it. When he made the statement, how did Percy Munnings get the land? You know, why is it that a black person can't have wealth? We have to be
Spiritual advisor, hold on a minute, sister. Spiritual advisor, please don't be upset. The producer wants you to look at him because he's giving you certain...
You know, so we have to really be careful how we say things about people.
But what did I say, ma'am?
Everybody has a right to amass wealth if they have access.
Well, let me ask you a question.
You know, to suggest that I think was
No, I can't let you do this to me. I cannot let you do this to me on national TV. Let me ask you a question. What did I say? Did I accuse anybody of anything, or you assuming that?
And you said,
but you are
what she said.
You're right, but you're assuming what that means. You can't do that.
But see, you have to be
You
careful.
understand where I'm coming from, right?
Across, sir.
But
you
ma'am,
know, we have to really be careful.
Yes, but what I'm saying, you can't assume what is going on in my mind as to why I make that statement. I said nothing of the sort to what you're suggesting.
Mr. Rose,
I said nothing.
That comes across.
No, that's how it sounded to you.
Hold on, my spiritual advisor.
Yes, but no. You cannot do that. You cannot do that to me, ma'am. I never said that.
Wrong the way how you said, and that's
no, it sounded like that to you, ma'am. Ma'am, it
okay?
sounded like that to you. All right, now you're out of order. You can't do that. You can't do that to me.
Mr. Rose,
but ma'am,
that's the way I came across.
Yes, but I'm saying you cannot. That's how it came across to you.
Speak to you about it.
But I said nothing of the sort. I condemned or I did not say anything of the sort about anybody. All right, let's be fair.
Okay, my dear, I heard you. Welcome back to Freedom March. We have another call? Munroe, we got plenty of time. Hello? Welcome to Freedom March. Okay. Mr. Munroe, we have been hearing rumors all day that the Honorable Shane Gibson was either in custody or had surrendered himself. What is the status? What is taking place to the best of your ability that you might be able to comment on?
All right, let me approach it like this, Brother Monica. This is the third installment, eh? And
by installment, what do you mean?
Well, you know, anytime something adverse is happening, you have Mr. Dorset, you had Mr. Smith, now you have Mr. Gibson. On the first installment, we were concerned because I went with him, notwithstanding that I'd usually send junior people to police stations because we were concerned that they really were seeking to investigate something.
Yes.
Without getting into the merits of the matter, I am satisfied on the transcripts of the record of interview, which I reviewed because it was typed for me today, that wasn't the case. I've had conversations with Mr. Gibson, who is my client, along with the firm of McKinney and Turner. And what we arrived at is, if you want to question me and you don't tell me what it's about, and I had a substantive ministry and I was call it the Hurricane Relief Czar, then you cannot be expecting me to sensibly help you, because if you were to tell me, we want to question you about this, I might tell you, well then have this document or the next document or the other document available. In the Ingram administration, they did at one point literally wanted his assistance with some hurricane relief shenanigans, and so they told him what it was about. They gave him access to the papers, and he was very able to lead them through it and show them what the situation is. That was not what was proposed this time. So I'm made to understand that initially he went in with Anthony McKinney QC, and there came a time when it was obvious that that wasn't what was going to be involved. And so the junior in Mr. McKinney's firm, Mr. Owen Wells, dealt with the matter, that they questioned him, that they have determined to keep him overnight, which is unusual, and we're going to deal with that at the appropriate time.
Yes.
And they are going to make a decision by 12 noon.
Tomorrow. Okay. Just let me take this call, please. Welcome to Freedom March. And are we still streaming? We are still streaming. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? 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 Goodness me, the person is not answering. Go to another caller. Okay. So, Mr. Munroe, we are hearing that he will be charged tomorrow. Have you any information on that? To the extent that you are able to answer, because,
Well, the information was that they'd make a decision. Now, it may well be that if you didn't tell me in advance, you didn't ask me to bring material from which I could assist you, that it's all a pantomime, if you remember the old pantomimes that have...
That's a very big word for me. What do you mean by pantomime?
Well, the old-time pantomimes were silent depictions of a scene. And invariably in the Old English pantomime, the ending was obvious from the beginning of the pantomime.
I got you.
And so if that is what is involved, then yes, indeed, the decision at 12 o'clock may be obvious. And then I would have heard you talk about the parading him in front of people.
Yes.
We would be well put, the government would be well put to consider the organs of state, the law, because we aren't creating this wheel, because this issue of a perp walk have been dealt with in a number of jurisdictions. But if they wish to do that, let them do it, and then we will address it. But the Bahamian public should not be distracted from what is happening. What has happened significantly today is that the central bank has said that the F&M had lied about the amount of money that they claimed the PLP spent leading up to the general election.
Wow, that's powerful.
And so you need to be very clear that when somebody is concerned with smoke and mirrors, that you don't get distracted from the things of substance.
Yes.
I've said it before. Why they beat us? They beat us bad. They're not a government. And instead of moving ahead to shine a bright light on what we are doing as the government, it is always one distraction after another to try and get Bahamian people to think we are not hungry, or when we are hungry to try to hold something else up.
Let me take this call, please. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a situation. I need you to deal with for me.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a young lady
Yes.
who was a janitress at Martintown School in Munroe, Grand Bahama.
Okay.
She's been there now for 18 years, and they have not made her permanent as yet.
Wow.
And I would like for this young lady to be made permanent
Uh-huh.
and be paid retroactive from the time she was there. That
How,
will come just got a summer job or whatever the program was, and they want to make them permanent and leave the lady out who's been there for 18 years.
well, something fundamentally is wrong with that. What constituency is she living in?
Beg pardon?
What constituency? Who is her MP? Hello? Are you gone? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Moncur.
Good afternoon, my dear.
How you doing?
I'm right here. What's on your mind?
Spiritual advisor and my baby, Mr. Munroe.
How you doing, ma'am? Everything okay?
I'm good. Praise the Lord. I
Great.
wanted to know why is Mr. Shane Gibson being charged and what are the charges?
Mr. Munroe, you heard her?
Well, officially they would tell you they are deciding whether he will be charged. I am unable to tell you what, if anything, they intend to do. The spiritual advisors we move towards a break can look up, I think it's Matthew 7, chapter 7, verses 1 and 2, especially verse 2. That may make the current administration understand what people mean when they say you have to be terribly...
I can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh, sorry about
bring that
that.
closer to your mouth.
Yeah, I don't have Mr. Monker's experience.
Yeah, bring that close to your mouth. You might have to hold it.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah.
She didn't hear you.
The best that we can say is that we are being told that they will make a decision 12 o'clock tomorrow. Whatever that decision will be, they will know in their hearts at this moment, no doubt. What, if anything, it will be about, I am unable to assist at the moment.
Did you hear what he said, my dear? Hello? Okay, she must have gone. Munroe, I don't know how to say this to you. I have another caller. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, this is me again. We get disconnected.
Okay.
Mr. Munroe was trying to explain to me what was happening.
All right, as I said earlier, Mr. Gibson was questioned in the past in all matters involving nonviolent offenses. Persons would be bailed to come to court whenever it is you're coming to court. So you don't have the shenanigans of somebody showing up in court and there isn't a charge sheet ready. They would bring you in, question you. If they decide to charge you, they'll say, Mr. Gibson, Mr. Smith, Mr. Monker, you are due in court next week Wednesday. Sign a bond so that you can appear in court next week Wednesday. That is the experience that I've had for, I think, the first 2 decades of my practice at the bar. What they've done is question them. I'm being advised by Mr. Wells, the junior who attended the questioning, that they determined to keep him, and then they will say they will make a decision at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
But, Mr. Munroe, if they haul him before the court, don't you think they should have everything in place rather than putting him there and keeping him overnight as a criminal?
Well, as I say, for the first 2 decades or so of my practice, unless you were charged with something like a murder, an armed robbery, something where you were dangerous, after they questioned you, if you were a Bahamian, they would give you bail to appear at court at a particular time, and they wouldn't be rushed as they are now and sometimes not being able to perform. Okay. But I am getting the impression that this is all a pantomime.
Yeah.
If I were to say to you, I'm going to question you, ma'am, about something from last year, come in and speak with me, you would automatically say, what are you questioning me about? If I say, I'm not going to tell you, come in. That shows that I'm not serious about investigation. And then if you were a minister in charge of people, because people don't understand, ministers don't sign contracts, ministers don't do things, they are policy makers. If you don't tell the person, if you come to question me, I'll tell you, tell me which matter it is so I could come with my file, so I could
Right,
sensibly help you. Because if you're asking me information, I would need, for instance, to have access to papers, to emails, to that kind of thing. So when you don't see that happening, you might get a certain impression. And then as a person being questioned and as a lawyer giving advice, you have to determine whether your client, whether you will answer any questions when you are in that disadvantaged position.
Okay.
Okay, my dear, I have
No,
a... Hold on, let me hear what she's saying. Hello?
Okay.
Go.
What I was going to say to you,
Yes.
With the spiritual advisor, when you did mention about the lot that Mr. What is his
Percy
name?
Munnings?
Munnings, and you said they were clean lots.
Yes.
And then when you said that he purchased these lots and, he paid for his lot.
Yes.
And then when you say that the spiritual advisor did make a comment, and he is a man of God, he should be honest and
What did I say?
You said, it's something you said, have it, and then you hold it back, and then you say, let's leave it there.
So what does that mean?
It means that you want to question.
No, that's an assumption.
Hold on,
ma'am.
my spiritual
Get his
advisor. Let
lot.
Mama talk.
Whether he get his lot lawful or he did something wrong to get it. The way
Speculation.
people get the law,
That
they
is
keep
pure
them up, they
speculation,
do
ma'am.
anything.
Nope.
No question
Hold
in
on,
that.
my
Be
spiritual
here.
advisor.
Let's be
talk.
here and let's praise God, and you have a blessed evening.
You do the same,
I
ma'am.
thank you, my dear. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. So, Mr. Munroe, what is going on? It but appears that the victors are putting the vanquished on trial. And it seems to me that if you ever run again and you win, you better don't lose.
Well, I'll put it like this. Matthew 7, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know, spiritual
It
advice.
says, judge not, and you should not be judged. It says, for with the same measure you use, here's what it says. Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged as well. And with what measure you use, the same will be measured unto you. Matthew chapter 7.
Yeah, and you see, all that is, it's...
Can I expect?
So on your point, person should expect that exactly the threshold of evidence that is being used now will always be used.
Okay.
In this country, the police aren't the only persons who can levy a charge. The Office of the Attorney General isn't the only body that can prosecute. So when you set this standard for charging, this standard for prosecution, understand that you don't have to wait until the government change. Any citizen has the power to privately prosecute any other citizen for an offense so long as that offense doesn't require the permission of the Attorney General to commence. And there are a lot of corruption type offenses that can be advanced without the consent of the Attorney General.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Monka. How you doing?
Right here, my dear.
Hi, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Oh.
And good evening to Mr. Spiritual Advisor.
How are you?
And to my smart lawyer, Mr. Wayne Munroe.
Afternoon.
Oh, I love you, Mr. Munroe. You're a smart lawyer.
That's sometimes an insult.
Now, Mr. Munroe, I agree with you. Like you say, how can you, would you want to lock me up or arrest me or you want to question me when I ask what for? You are not able to tell me. Well, then I can't help you. So how you want to arrest me and you don't want to tell me? Like you say, if I know what you want, I can help you and guide you along those lines. But if you just come want question me or lock me up for what I don't know, then I can't help you. And then you should have all your acts and facts together against me if you want to arrest me and tell me what I'm being arrested for. This government is so dumb. They're incompetent. I don't know what the hell they doing. They need to hurry up, get like fighters can't come enough so they could get the hell because they know what the hell they're doing. Just a flicking government.
Well,
oh my God!
get ready. Because I'm going to be summoning all the women them, all the man them, and all the people them. Wayne Munroe is here with me and the spiritual advisor as we look at victor's justice. Boy, I hiding this weekend for minutes. This is Freedom March. We'll be right back. Tell the people on the phone, hold on. Freedom March. We'll be right back after the break.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. He's been under attack by Mama Dem. Mama Dem are some of the women
I
Dem.
wish it was only Mama Dem. Everybody attacking me today, but it's all love.
And of course, I'm also joined by noted attorney Wayne Munroe QC. I asked him at the last moment if he would please come because Shane Gibson is in custody. And all morning we have been hearing rumors and rumors of rumors. And now the latest we're hearing is tomorrow he will be paraded before the media and taken before a magistrate. So I don't know what is going on, but I understand I have some phone call. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Next caller. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Yes?
Let me tell you something, Mr. Monka.
Yes?
Let me tell you something. The spiritual advisor ain't telling the truth.
What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
He said just what he said. He said just what he said, but the property.
You mean, okay.
But the property.
Let me help the spiritual
He ain't
advisor.
telling the truth. He's a Christian and he ain't telling the truth.
But we're going to have to pray for him, but he has a lawyer here. Wayne Munroe is going to put a case for him. So hold on for a second.
I'll put it like this. He left something hanging, and he could have meant any number of things by it. But persons have come to a particular conclusion they think he meant.
Okay.
Leaving it hanging was what he did wrong. I think he would admit that. But that's a finished deal, and no need to continually flog him over
Well,
that.
just tell them you're sorry for leaving it hanging.
I would say sorry if I was guilty of anything.
Okay, my spiritual advisor. You're not guilty.
I just asked a question.
Okay.
That's all I did.
All right. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker.
Hello, my dear.
Mr. Monroe, spiritual advisor.
Hi, how you doing?
Mr. Monker,
Yes.
when you're talking about eating in the hotels,
Yes.
that is very true. Because at Princess Towers,
Yes.
I work with two shop stewards, union people.
Yes.
One was Mr. Bastian,
Yes.
and all he did was eat peanuts
Yes.
and sodas from us.
Right.
But we had an ex-person who expired now.
Right.
He used to have breakfast, lunch, and supper with the manager of the
Goodness
hotel.
almighty. Sell us right out.
And do you know, when Mr. Bastian came to Nassau, something went wrong. And we go to the person expired. You know, we was in trouble.
Wow.
He used to fire us for the managers.
Wow.
Those white people, they want something back when you keep eating their food.
Yes, right.
And what you're saying is true.
I know.
It's very true. I experienced that.
I know.
So the F&M have to be careful with going to these hotels eating,
Yeah.
because those white people are going to want something from them.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
God save the Queen.
No, that's very true.
Let me do a quick shout out to Miss Teresa Daxon. Teresa, I know you are one of the women them, and I know all the bad things that the F&M has been doing to you. It ain't right. I can pray, and I'm going to hope God will change their mind, and they will forget the fact that you are a PLP. But there's a lesson to learn. The next time you vote the PLP into power, you better keep them into power, because many of them ain't got good heart. I have a phone call, you say? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello?
Yes? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Munker.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask Mr. Munroe a question.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Munroe, in House of Assembly, the Prime Minister said to call, when the PLP is in power, he told Mr. Christie to call the police for Raymond Wells, for Mr. Wells. Now, if you telling the Prime Minister call for Raymond Wells, call the police for Wells.
Say Renwood Wells.
Renwood Wells. Yeah, he told Mr. Christie call the police for the letter of intent. They call the police. And so if you call the police, how could you make him a cabinet minister?
Well, if you
How you could make him a cabinet minister if you telling me to call the police for him?
Well, even more, if you are even-handedly dealing with corruption, having said that he's corrupt, Mr. Wells should have been number one to be paraded before the public if what you were saying back then were the truth and not just fluff.
Okay, my dear?
Okay, one more.
Okay.
I'd like to ask someone if he think the Aguilar came in with baggage, Markey came in with baggage, Pintard came with baggage, the Aguilar came in with baggage. You want transparency. How could you put him in your cabinet?
Well, you know,
They shouldn't have run. If you saying with transparency, they should not have run.
Well, let me be frank, because I'm bearing Matthew 7:2 in mind, Everyone will have a degree of baggage. Let's be clear. If you read the leader of the opposition's letter that he wrote to Dr. Minnis, the Prime Minister, he said openly, nobody have any time for corruption. Where you find it, you should deal with it. But clearly, you would have to take a stand to try to grade between when people just vex and when people truly corrupt. Everyone has baggage, whether it's baggage that should cause someone to be elected, to be permitted to serve, will be a judgment of the person making that judgment. I think your first point was a much stronger point, which is that if you say that I am corrupt and they should call the police for me, you really should be explaining how you get to change your view of me. I think that's your better point.
Okay, my dear, I got to let you go because I got a couple more people on the phone. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hi, Mr. Munker.
Hello, my dear.
I'm one of the women there.
Oh, praise the Lord, because I'm going to soon be calling y'all into the streets. Go ahead.
I can't wait.
Okay, this is powerful.
Now, Mr. Munker.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I can beat up on your spiritual advisor for the last time.
Yes, sir.
Again?
Spike him
yeah,
with
because
his
I was
bald head.
listening.
Oh, Lord.
And he made a comment, and the one thing is, you know, you live on Facebook, so he can't say he didn't say it.
Right.
He said Percy was piddling Bagman. And I think the Mullins family ought to sue him because he had to prove that.
Oh, no, don't sue the spiritual advisor.
You see?
It
You
was
have to
a
be
moment
careful what you say.
of the devil.
Because we're on Facebook and you can't go back and change it. Because I went back and listened to him. And he said, when you said that he did make a disparaging remark, and he did leave it hanging, like Mr. Munroe said, and you could interpret that Percy was crooked. You say,
oh, no. You can't do that.
Come on.
Oh, no.
Percy said Percy was peddling bag man.
Okay, let me ask.
You know how much land that man have?
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
We have to be careful. And I can finish with it.
No.
I can beat up on the spiritual
I want to ask
advisor,
you a
but then
question,
you're
though.
Wrong. He's a spiritual advisor.
I want to ask you a question,
you
though.
To say I was wrong.
Okay.
And I apologize. And let's be done.
No problem. But I want to ask you a question.
But don't pretend like you won't say it.
Could I ask you one question?
We can go back on Facebook and play it for you.
Could I ask you one question?
Yes.
Do you know I live right next door to these people?
I can't.
So why would I jeopardize my relationship with these people?
It ain't about living.
I live right next to them. I'm their neighbor.
I don't mind if you live. I just want you to say I said something that may not have been nice.
I didn't say anything.
Because that you could sue. You can't prove that Percy was piddling bag man.
All right, no
You have
problem.
to prove that.
Okay, my love.
You said that. Those words come out of your mouth.
Well, you sue me then.
Take good care.
No, I ain't gonna sue you because I can't, but I think his family should sue you.
No. Well, under the law, if you attack the character of a dead person, Mr. Munroe, you can't be sued for that, right?
No, there's no.
They can't. Yeah.
Not in the Bahamas. In some jurisdictions now,
But not
they're
in the
passing
Bahamas. Yeah.
laws to
But the
deal with that.
spiritual advisor, he meant no harm.
Of course not. I live right next door to these
He's
people.
a safe.
They're my neighbors. They're my
safe
friends.
man. Yeah. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March.
Rodney.
Sir.
Hey, Mr. Munroe.
Yes, sir.
I think you could maybe call those names. You say you had some names to call on the Free National Movement side. Let Rodney show be the show when you decide to call the names. Maybe not today, but when you decide. If you're serious with that, you call it on this show. Spiritual advisor, I'm a rain on your parade, right? I can't see the TV. I only listen in. I can't go back on Facebook. I can go back and listen to the recording or something. But see, when the man say you leave it open, you ain't say how one black man. When you check Facebook and you check the recording, you can hear where you say how one man could own all that. You leave it open to leave in our mind.
I never said that.
Listen, check the tape.
I can review the tape. I never said that.
Check the tape. When you say it that way, you leave it open. Like, see, we don't say that with Brent Simmons or any white man who owns
No. Be careful now, because Brent is alive, and I don't want you all saying anything about Brent.
Nothing
because
but Brent. My friend is that spiritual advisor.
Mama
did say, I
used
mean
to
the rain on
support.
your parade. Just apologize, man.
Apologize
Come
to
on,
who?
man, and apologize.
Anyway,
Apologize to who?
Your point is well taken, sir. We thank you very much. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Anybody else there? Okay. So, Mr. Munroe, you wouldn't be in trouble if you say you know about F&Ms who might be guilty of skullduggery. They won't be able to charge you to say you knew about skullduggery, but never reported to the police.
No. And careful listening of what I said, if people would pay attention to it, is in line with Matthew 7:2.
What? My spiritual advisor.
He read it earlier.
Again. Because it's like if you're running from the
It's
word.
a very interesting passage to say the least. It says, judge not.
Judge not.
That you be not judged.
That you be not judged.
Which doesn't mean you don't judge people, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
Verse 2 comes after.
For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged.
Wow.
So, and with what measure you meet, it will be measured unto you.
Oh, so when Philip Brave Davis told Dr. Minnis that there will be a day of reckoning, it actually was God's word.
Oh, that's what it means.
Okay,
And so what we are saying is this. Look.
Yeah.
The former Prime Minister Ingram, I think, is on record as saying, he has trepidations, and that's because, for instance, one of my English colleagues at the bar say that we look more and more like an African country, right?
Who looks more like an African country?
The Bahamas.
Well, aren't we African? Hungaya!
We were taken from Africa, but he means in a particular way.
I see.
So, for instance, these are the people
tribalism.
who, when we speak, and when I was in university, always we had these interesting conversations where they said, well, your family were the losers in the wars, and so the people who won the wars sold you to the Europeans, because Europeans never used to run down black people in Africa.
Okay.
And so you have this African thing of, and you see some of it biblically, I conquer you, I take over your children, your wife, I wipe all of them out, and that's the way it is.
Wow.
So that's what he meant when he said that. Mind you, he's a black man of African ancestry, so you take no offense to it. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about is you establish this standard. Now, if you fall within this standard that you have now established for the first time, then surely you're subject to the same judgment.
That is true. Let me take this call. Hello! Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Am I on?
You are on.
Rodney Michael.
Sir.
What's happening?
Well, you better quickly tell me what's on your mind. The clock is
Okay.
ticking.
Mr. Munroe, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Spiritual advisor, what's up?
Hey, you all right?
Okay, good. Rodney Michael, before I get to my point, are you on the radio also or just on TV?
I'm only on TV and Facebook. They promised me that by September, they will have me on radio. So I can't wait
no
for
problem.
September to come.
Yeah, my point is, right, Rodney?
Yes.
Menace, he telling Brave Davis now he want to try to get together to, do something for the country, right? But just the other day, Brave Davis sent him a letter saying he wanted to talk to me. He refused him. So what Menace saying?
Listen, I think an evil spirit has possessed them.
I mean, they lost. I mean, they just, like Rain Munroe said, they just putting this thing like smoke screen and mirrors, and they wouldn't run the country. They in power now, so run the country.
Well, I call on PLP to start hiding on the weekends because Menace is locking you up. See, I'm the smartest one among them. I hide every weekend.
No, but Monica, now they locking you up during the week, you know.
But guess what, Monica, you don't gotta hide, man. Me and Munroe right there to represent you, man. You don't do nothing wrong, and you done disclose your canap tree or your juju tree.
Everybody that Mr. Munroe has represented spent a night in custody. I got a whole woman in Camp Road who told me I can hide by them. Take it care. I gotta take another call. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Monka.
Right, it, my dear.
How are you, Mr. Munroe? S.A.? How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Now, I'm going to start off. He without sin cast the first stone.
Okay.
Now, I can get petty right here, right now. You have a lot of people on social media, all this F&M running around the place. Lock them up. Log them up. Log them up. These Bahamians. But listen to me. They ain't squeaky clean.
That is
More
true.
than half of the Bahamians is thieves. When they're coming from away, they lie on the declaration form. You thief from customs, you corrupt. You corrupt. So come rough around here, and the white man bringing the whole car inside the trailer. But look at they better stop playing around here now.
But listen here.
Mr. Munroe, we need to start exposing these thieving people around here. These F&M.
Don't call their name now.
No, I ain't calling their name.
Okay.
They're thieves.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for exposing them.
Yes.
You take good
Stop
care.
thieving from customs. Stop thieving.
Well, you can't accuse me because I scared of planes. So custom can never accuse me. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Sir?
What's up, first time caller?
Well, welcome, my brother.
Mr. Munroe, I mean, this show kind of biased, man, because y'all running down everybody, and so when the spiritual advisor say something, y'all ganging up on him. I mean, it got to be even.
I
okay?
defended him.
This is a PLP show. That's the problem.
Yeah, okay,
How dare you call this a PLP show?
This is a big-time PLP show.
Scorn woman being dumped by the boyfriend, man. Without ministry, ain't nothing.
Goodness me. Look how the young man is
Without
insulting
ministry,
me.
ain't nothing, bro.
Hang up on this Negro. I mean, he has no respect.
And I'm surprised. All the
Hello?
effort I went to defend you.
Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? I'm going to teach this. Hold that caller for a second. Young man, Paul Adley provided me with a political strategy. He said, go after the pussy cat, and you will kill the pussy kitten. Next caller. Your problem is you all don't understand how to handle a pussy cat. Yes, do that. All right? Munroe, isn't it time for the PLP to carry out political action?
Well, you know, Brother Monica, I'm always with you for political action now. I still have my little checkbook.
Well, listen, I can need little money because the Union Hall is available. They've given me a good price, all right? So I can need a little check because I have to call the people to, to stand up.
And when we need the flags, the placards, the sticks, we deal with that too.
This is powerful. Listen, we have to stand up because Menace is locking up everybody. And I could understand if he would discriminate and leave me alone because I say F&M. Now I'm only hanging out with the PLP because I'm in love with the PLP now. But Menace has been trying to get me, and praise the Lord, I run into a wonderful woman at the hospital. And she said I could hide this weekend off Camp Road, air-conditioned room. Now the nice Hannah in the cancer section, whatever that is called. I don't know what that big word they got.
Oncology?
Oncology. I want you to be kind to the patients them, eh? All right? I know they're overworking you and so forth, but be kind to the patient them. I think you are a wonderful woman, and, so be kind to them. So people, you see, I did tell Miss Hannah to be kind to y'all. So Munroe, it looks like tomorrow is going to be a big day then. I need to know whether or not I need to bring, how many cameras I need to bring out.
Well, you do us a favor by immortalizing it on videotape.
Yeah.
So when that time comes, we
Yeah.
have a video record that this is what happened.
Well, somebody gonna have to start paying me, because I'm a consultant. You follow? I'm a consultant, and you got to get the PLP to find some money, because I'm coming out there with all the camera now.
Well, wait now. This is supposed to be a PLP show. I know I'm a PLP.
Okay.
I know you're an FNM.
I'm an F&M.
I thought the spiritual advisor was an FNM.
The spiritual advisor is in trouble. I need you to talk to PLPs if they could give him a little contract, because the F&M trying to get him to bend down. And I've told the spiritual advisor, no matter what they promise you, don't bend down. Isn't that powerful?
See, the young people wouldn't understand that song, you know.
You don't think they so?
A lot of people ain't old enough to know that.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bend down. My God.
Don't pick up the chicken feed, eh?
Look what they're doing to a man of God. It's amazing, eh? And then, of course, I had a lady call me today. She was concerned about something else. Listen, madam, I have not forgotten. I prefer to deal with that tomorrow because I have to pray over it. I don't want to come and say things without prayer. But I understand your concern, and I have little influence, okay? And to the woman who leg need the operation, I got influence. I'm going to talk to Dr. Dwayne Sands. Don't mind Travis, okay? And in the meantime, I'm going to boil some bush medicine for you to wash your leg down on. All right? I'm not prescribing any medication, right? So I'm not breaking the law.
No, so long as you don't hold yourself out as being a medical doctor.
Oh, no, I'm not a doctor. Okay? And what I'm going to boil for you, I don't want you to drink. It's just to wash your legs down. So, Munroe, it's a serious day in the country. The F&M say they're fighting corruption. And it appears that they can't find any F&M.
Well,
it looks like it's tick for tat. Every time a government charges someone with corruption, you end up defending them.
No, not all.
Well, who you know that you ain't defend?
I'm not representing Frank Smith.
Really?
No.
Who's his lawyer?
I wasn't even in the country. Damian Gomez, QC.
Oh, okay, that is true. But you have most of them.
There's only one before him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't there... How many people got charged?
2 so far.
2 so far?
Yeah.
Mr. Gibson will be the 3rd person.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final comment you want to make? Because, you know, the clock is striking down, running down. My spiritual advisor, what is this? Goodness of mercy. Who took this picture with him in the cell?
That's Photoshop, Mr. Wanka.
You sure?
Yeah, that ain't real.
Yeah.
This ain't real? No. Because I have a photograph. They have Mr. Gibson in the cell. The F&M wicked, eh?
Well, I'll put it to you like this, and this is the final comment. When you go about doing things, you really need to be circumspect about it.
Yeah.
Things like that could only benefit him because you
Wow.
have to determine now whether or not you're going to charge somebody indictably,
Right.
whether in line with the jurisprudence here in England and the U.S., you could ever have a jury trial.
Wow.
And if you only charge them indictably, what then happens?
Wow.
You have to be careful. Biblically, the Bible tells you what happens in Matthew, because you really don't have to wait until the government change to measure people by the same measure that they measure other people.
Wow.
And to meet to them the same treatment they meet to other people. One, if you are honest that you are fighting corruption, when the information, and I don't trust the corruption unit to do investigation, so I'm doing some of what you do,
Yes.
which is getting the information
Right.
myself,
Right.
so that you present it and they have it, so that when I say, here is the nature of evidence you charge Mr. Dorset, Mr. Smith, if they do Mr. Gibson on,
Yes.
you should charge on the same level of information because I have it on this person.
Wow.
And that's why you needed more than one person charged to establish what is the level. They've established it now, and I think if they're honest, they will really look at everybody.
Can a PLP get a fair trial under an F&M government? What do you think? We're not looking at the judiciary. I mean, not talking about the judiciary. We're talking about a fair trial under the F&M.
The issue that would be engaged, without saying how the court will decide the issue, is whether or not, bearing in mind the publicity in the election campaign, the publicity that continues thereafter, and the things that you were shown on Facebook, whether or not in a small island nation you can have a jury trial. And the Turks and Caicos, our brothers to the south, when they dealt with their corruption trials, the English, who make up our final court of appeal, made a decision that you couldn't have a trial with jurors drawn from the population. And so they made provision for a judge alone trial, which we don't have provisions for.
Well, I'm against a judge alone.
But the point is, you have
Yeah.
to bear in mind, you have to be careful. This is what governance is about. So your point that people may sound simple, go into Albany. A lot of time is spent on things like, you come to me. As a senior lawyer, I don't go to junior lawyers. Junior lawyers come to me.
Right.
Why? Because it's a sign of status.
Right.
Who stays in their surroundings.
Right.
And so when the government goes about doing things, a lot of their early moves have shown that they're not quite ready for it. They don't understand all of the nuances of it.
Yes.
And they're making elemental mistakes.
Wow.
Like appointing people to boards without calling them, without confirming with
Yeah.
them that they will serve. Little simple things.
Well, I know they have two crooks, and I changed my mind. Please keep the two crooks. They're good F&M. So I will keep them. Listen, it's breaking news. Shane Gibson in custody. We expect him to be charged tomorrow. Please pray for him, and I expect PLPs to be outside the court supporting him. PLP all the way. PLP all the way. Take it care.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.